Hello, everyone. I'm Karen Laird, editor of Sustainable Plastics, and welcome to a special live stream with Fimic. Today, you'll hear about Fimic's latest technology for plastics recycling. After the presentation, you will have a chance to get your questions answered by Fimic representatives live on screen. Our speaker today is Ludovic Pitrois, the North America Sales Manager at Fimic. To submit your questions, please email pnevents@crane.com, or if you're watching along on the Plastics News LinkedIn or Facebook, you can enter your questions through those platforms. And now, without further ado, it's time to turn the presentation over to this afternoon's speaker. Ludovic, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Karen. I appreciate it. Good morning and welcome, everyone. I want to thank you all, and especially those from the West Coast who got up early in order to connect with us today. And a special thanks to Plastic News for their support and the organization of this live stream called Groundbreaking Technology for Plastic Recycling. During the course of this presentation, you will be able to ask questions in the live stream chat, and we will gladly answer them as they come in or at the end of the presentation. We are Fimic, are very focused on the circular economy, and we see an opportunity to share experience and knowledge, especially in the process of filtration for post-consumer and post-industrial plastic. We are always available to provide our help and sustainable development advice to any company that currently dedicates or wants to start in the recycling of plastic. Today, we are very happy to be here in order to introduce another exciting news that we will be able to share with you regarding a groundbreaking technology for plastic recycling. So stay tuned. My name is Ludovic Pitrois. I am the North America Sales Manager for Fimic, and I am based in Wisconsin, Verona. I have over 30 years experience in capital equipment sales in North America. So please feel free to contact me and ask any questions you may have. Fimic, a family-owned company who's based in the suburb of Venice, Italy. Since 1963, Fimic has been dedicating its effort, research, and results to the plastic recycling industry. Our main products are automatic continuous melt filters and guillotines. Today, we have more than 740 equipment running worldwide. Many units are running at the leading players in the plastic recycling industry. And today, we are very excited as we will share a premier Fimic product to the world. We are Fimic. What does that mean? We are people, a company dedicated to serve the plastic recycling industry. We have a team of 34 professionals, as well as agents in multiple countries to offer closer support to our customers. Fimic grew 700% the past 6 years. Plastic recycling has become a very hot topic in recent years. Fimic has dedicated its business to plastic recycling. Our philosophy is to create the equipment which helps the plastic recyclers to easily upgrade the performance of existing or new recycling lines and to dramatically reduce the operational cost. This short video will easily explain to better understand Fimic's line of work. Let me play.
Does your company recycle plastics? The European directive is clear. From 2025, plastic products must contain at least 25% recycled material. This is a very high percentage, and it is difficult to achieve, at least with manual or semi-automatic filters. However, it is not a problem. In fact, it represents a great business opportunity if you choose to rely on Fimic, a company specializing in the production of automatic and self-cleaning melt filters specifically dedicated to post-industrial and post-consumer plastics recycling. Its filtration technologies, one of a kind, guarantee high results and a very high quality of the final material. They are also available in different models and sizes, based on 3 factors: type of material to be recycled, required output per hour, contamination level and filtration requirements. These days, the amount of material to be recycled is ever increasing. At the same time, it is necessary to maintain high standards for high quality results. To do so, Fimic adapts the technology to the customer's needs with 5 different screen changes, offers all possible filtrations, and covers the many different existing applications. Would you like to test your materials at Fimic? Book a test in our technical center.
So, after this nice short animation video, I would like to talk more about our technology. Fimic's most famous technology is dedicated to automatic and continuous filtration. We are the only company which provides any type of automatic filters targeting post-industrial and post-consumer plastics. In total, we have a range of 5 different models, from materials with low contamination up to very high or aggressive contamination levels, from smaller output, 660 pounds per hour, up to 13,200 pounds per hour. Depending, of course, on the material, throughput, and required filtration that our customer needs, we will provide the most suitable filter solution accordingly. Last but not least, our technology is the only continuous scraping system also applicable to PVC recycling. For the automatic filter, our philosophy is to provide the right type and size of filter, considering our customers' technical specifications. We can work with all different types of materials, contaminations, and our filter can be installed on any extruder types and brands existing or new. We offer many years of experience and can provide customers excellent know-how based on real facts and experience, not only theories. And in addition to our popular automatic filter, to improve plastic recycling, we are proud to introduce our new innovation today. It is revolutionary, innovative technology, a real breakthrough solution for the plastic recycling process. Let me introduce you to the SPA screw pump. SPA means screw pump automatic. It is designed for 2 main purposes. First, it is designed for plastic recyclers and compounders who want to optimize the output performance of their extruders. Second, in case of recycler or compounder needs to 2-step filtration, the SPA will transport the material from the first filter to the second. The SPA screw pump is, in few words, a melt pump used for plastic recycling process. The SPA screw pump allows to easily transport plastic melt from the extruder to the filter or between 2 filters without using gears. It is user-friendly and gives great results. Very briefly, the advantages of the Femix screw pump are shown here on this chart. Compared to conventional gear pumps, the maintenance cost of the screw pump is very low, as well as the ease of operation, which is fundamental to consider in the recycling line or accompanying line using recycled plastic. Being more sensitive to contamination, a gear pump often needs a manual side plate filter installed before it to protect it. Femix SPA is using the screw to transport the melt. The screw is less sensitive than gears, so it doesn't need any additional filter before it to protect it. That is why its best performance rise out when using recycled plastic, especially post-consumer. So once again, the overall operation costs for a screw pump are much lower compared to gear pumps. Regular gear pumps are complex to operate, while the SPA is easy to use, and does not require periodic replacement by the operators. It can be installed either before and or after the filter and will be perfect for applications requiring a double filtration step or for compounding lines, typically on twin screws, to help build up enough pressure to the filter. There are two main applications for the Femix spa screw pump. Before the filter, typically on twin screw extruders to build up enough pressure to the filter without the risk of damaging gears or replacing them too often. Or after the filter, either in between two melt filters or to stabilize the pressure of the material and maximize the productivity of the filter and consequently of the extruder itself. To sum up the advantages of the spa screw pump for plastic recycling: ease of operation. The screw's lifetime is much longer compared to gears. Additionally, it's easy to replace. The touchscreen has 3 operation modes, easy to change and test depending on the material and its characteristic. Extremely low maintenance requirements, significant savings even in the short term, longer lifetime of wear parts, taking into consideration that recycling has always contamination that will damage gears during the operation, and which will need to be replaced multiple times. This will not happen with the spa screw pump. Optimization of the extrusion performance. The screw pump can reduce the pressure from extruder, hence, to bring the extruder's output to its maximum, either if it's installed before or after the filter. This next animation will show you 2 different configurations. First, the screw pump is installed between 2 filters. Depending on the material and our customers needs a second filtration if the plastic recycling process requires it. They are using the screw pump to transport the plastic melt into the second filter and optimize the extruder's output by reducing the outlet pressure of the first filter. The second possible configuration is to install the pump directly after the twin screw extruder to help build up enough pressure for the filter and avoid nail returns at the same time. Furthermore, in this case, the screw pump can optimize the output from extruder and make it more stable. Let's take a quick look at the video. So for the spa screw pump, we are offering 3 sizes, targeting different output requirements. Number 1, the spa 120 for an output up to 2,200 pounds per hour. Number 2, the spa 140 for an output from 2,200 up to 3,300 pounds per hour. Number 3, the spa 160 for an output from 3,300 pounds per hour up to 4,400 pounds per hour. However, we also understand that many of you are working with higher output, so our R&D is already working on designing a larger one to reach higher throughput requirements. Now, I will share with you a successful installation case involving the spa screw pump. You will be able to see real example of customer lines equipped with a Fimic melt filter and a screw pump. The first was installed on a twin screw recycling line equipped with a spa 140 for an output of 2,200 up to 3,300 pounds per hour, right before a Fimic 10 filter. This is a single-step filtration. The 10 filter produced by Fimic is using the continuous melt type screen. The 10 filter is normally used for filtration of low contaminated plastic, less than 1% contamination. The second case is a single extruder equipped with a Fimic RAS 600 melt filter, a spa 120, output up to 2,200 pounds per hour, and followed by a manual side plate type screen changer as a second filtration step. This project involved washed post-consumer PP regrinds, mainly from battery automotive application. We got a co-rotating twin screw extruder, followed by a Fimic Spa 140 screw pump and a Fimic 10 filter, which is using a continuous woven mesh belt screen. The output for this line is 22 up to 3,300 pounds per hour, as I mentioned. Usually, a twin screw extruder has pressure limitations, and the most common issues will be the melt return from degassing ports. Installing the new screw pumps helps increase the pressure of the extruder and avoid melt returning back out of the degassing zone. We can find the configuration in the picture shown below. It is a twin screw extruder, Fimic screw pump, and a Fimic 10 filter. As you can see, no need for pre-filtration before the screw pump. Conventional gears pumps need a pre-filter with 400 and maybe 500 micron screen to protect its gears from contamination. And this pre-filter must be changed once every 20 to 30 minutes and potentially more often depending on the type of contamination. But Fimic screw pump doesn't need a pre-filter, which means less investments, less power consumption, less manpower, and ease of operation. If you look at the picture on the left, you will be able to see the screw pump. The twin screw extruder is at the very left and is transporting the material into the spa screw pump. Twin screw extruders are very often limited by pressure, as already mentioned. If the pressure at the extruder outlet is too high, the plastic melt will go back to the extruder and come out from the degassing zone. The spa screw pump reduces the pressure at the outlet of the extruder and increases it again at the entrance of the melt filter. In this way, the melt return situation is not happening, and the full potential of the extruder's output can be exploited. On the picture on the right, you can see the installation of a spa before the Fimic 10 filter. Let's have a quick look at the equipment running on site. Here is the spa. This is the 10 filter. And of course, this is the final results with the pellets. The second installation case is dedicated to washed post-consumer LDPE films. As this customer's target was to reduce gel formation in the output pellets, we proposed to install a screw pump and a manual filter after the Fimic RAS 600. The machine configuration is a single screw extruder, first stage filtration RAS 600, and then the screw pump SPA 120, and after the screw pump, a manual side plate melt filter. The first stage filter RAS 600 has a filtration of 120 micron on laser screen. Second manual filter is filtering at 100 micron on mesh screen. The SPA screw pump here is used between two filters to transport the melt from the first filter to the second filter with an excellent pressure control. The output for this line is 1980 up to 2400 pounds per hour. Here are some more detail of this installation. At the top right-hand side, you may see the SPA, screw pump, and install after the RAS 600 filter. Here's another operation video that you can see from the customer side. And now, before getting into our Q&A, I would like to show you what and who Fimic really is. So let me play that video. I do hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed rehearsing that dance that we all had to do. So now, if you're all ready for the Q&A, I'll be gladly, answer them all.
Yes, it was an extraordinary video. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you for that, Ludovic.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the terrific presentation. And as you said, we're now ready to take questions. Ludovic will be joined by Paula Crea, the regional sales manager at Fimic.
Hi.
Hi, Paula. And to submit a question, let me remind you, simply email pnevents@crane.com, or if you're watching along on the Plastics News LinkedIn or Facebook, you can submit your questions via those platforms. Okay, now let me see. We have here a question. Would Fimic do the installation of the screw pump, Ludovic?
Yes, of course, we usually do. Only in case where the health situation does not allow technicians to travel overseas. We will send all information for a virtual startup and connection from Italy to assist in the whole process. We have been very successful doing virtual installation with my help on site. So yes. Furthermore, what is very important is also the training. And we want to make sure that every time when we sell equipment, we're going to have enough time to do the installation plus the training on site.
How long does an installation take usually?
Again, it will depend. But we will consider 3 days total between the installation and the training.
Right. And how long do you need on average for a training? Is that included in the 3 days, or is that following?
It is including into the 3 days. The installation per se will only last a day. Okay. So we will have plenty of time to spend the time with the customers doing the training on site.
Well, that's pretty fast. So I guess it's not that hard to use.
No. It is very easy. That's actually, the good thing about Fimic. Fimic makes the whole process very simple.
Okay, good to know. So what about the screw pump when an extruder has had a lot of wear? Can it help in that case?
Well, the thing is this. If you want the spa to compensate for pressure efficiency or instability when your extruder starts pushing back the melt in degassing zone, yes. But if the screw has a lot of wear, you should repair or change it.
Okay. What's the screw composed of?
Say that again, excuse me?
What is the screw composed of? A very hard material? Is it a special material?
It is a special material which I will not be able to divulge, on this live stream.
Okay. All right. Let me see. And what is the maximum pressure that the screw pump can work?
The screw pump can operate with pressures up to 200 bars, 220 bars, which is 3,600 psi.
Okay.
This is usually the same requirement, for our melt filters. We will not work, I would say higher than these numbers that I just gave you.
Okay. And does the continuous mesh 10 filter, does that also work well with recycling?
Yes, of course. It's a great filter. It works really well, with recycling. Nevertheless, the 10 filter is usually chosen for low pollution application. Like I mentioned in the presentation, less than 1%.
Okay. And what are some of the contaminations that you generally run into that need your best filled melter, shall we say?
It's interesting because actually, everybody can work in post-industrial. Post-industrial is very clean, usually material, but Fimic is actually has a lot of extreme good experience with post-consumer, and usually post-consumer has heavier contamination. And we're talking about paper, we're talking about cardboard, sand. We're really talking about every type of contamination.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. I have another question here. What is the cost difference between a screw pump and a gear pump?
Well, maybe Paula can mention something, but what I will say is, since we do not manufacture a gear pump, I will not even compare it. So, Paula?
No, they are more or less on the same level in terms of the cost of the equipment. What is very favorable from our point of view is the cost of the maintenance, which is going to be considerably low.
Right. That's a good point. Can a screw pump provide the control of the flow rate the same as a gear pump?
It sure does. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it does a better job. It does a much better job than the gear pump.
Okay. And how much pressure difference between inlet and outlet is allowed for a screw pump?
Paula?
This we didn't experience a great difference. Probably by experience, I tell you. Normally, you have a pressure coming out from one machine, which is never too low, so you can really deal with it easily. I can't give you a number because it depends on the material, on what's MFI, etc., etc.
Okay. And is a filter size below 40 microns? Is that possible?
Right now, the lowest size of the screen will be 60 micron. 60 micron for the 10 filter, and 80 micron laser screen with regular filters.
And in the future, are you looking at?
It's an interesting question because even many customers, talk to us and said, I need lower filtration level. Mm-hmm. And when they try our filter, because of the size of our screen, we have the biggest surface of the screen for the filtration, which allow us to actually, manage a better temperature and manage a better pressure. So at the end, even the customers that mention, oh, by the way, I need a better or smaller or higher filtration, when they try what we consider is the best for their application, they're satisfied.
Okay.
Go ahead, Paula.
No, that's fine. Obviously, with the new situation of the recycling, especially because of the plastic tax, which is going to be implemented in Europe, people keep asking for more quality and more quality and more quality, especially people who are converter of plastic, produce film, and they have no experience with recycling. So it very much depends from the material you are treating. So if you have dirty material, it doesn't make any sense to go down to 40 micron, but you can do, steps and getting closer to that number. At the moment, as Ludovic said, the finest filtration we have is 60 micron. I'm sure the provider of the mesh are working to get lower than that for recycling, especially for the band filter, which is used in the TEM machine. We wait and see.
But like we mentioned in the presentation, we have 5 different models of filters. And one of them is the Aria, and the Aria has 2 chambers. A lot of recyclers will need a pre-filter sometimes, to remove the heavier contamination in order not to damage, the following filter. We do not do that. We do not ask, to have a pre-filter. So, for example, this Aria has actually a double chamber inside the filter, which will help. You could have, let's say, on the first chamber, 600, 800 micron filtration. And on the second chamber, you could have 120, 150 micron filtration, which will give you a great quality pellets at the end.
Okay. And could the filter also be in between the extruder and the melt extraction pump or underwater pelletizing line?
Can
Sure.
you repeat the question, please?
Excuse me? You want me to repeat?
Can you repeat, please?
The question is, could the filter also be put in between the extruder and a melt extraction pump or underwater pelletizing line?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. We have different cases of single extruder where, again, the filter is at the end of the extruder just right before the pelletizer. We have situations where we are replacing an existing filter, for example, for some extruders, and we're going to have to be put at the end of the line, or we can be put in the middle of the line between the two extruders. Again, the good thing about Fimic is we can be installed on any extruder available in the market, new or existing, new or very old even.
That's a lot of flexibility.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. And can the filter roll be recycled?
Paola?
The screen? I guess it's the screen. The roll, it's actually a flat screen. Okay, it's stainless steel.
Okay.
Round drilled screen, and it can be reused for a number of times. It can be burned with a pyrolytic oven and reused a number of times, but at the end you have to discard it. But that would be after 1.5 months, 2 months.
Okay.
So, I think the question, Paola, was probably more on the 10 filter.
Oh, yeah, yes. Then no, it cannot be recycled. I guess the metal recyclers would be able to do something maybe, but obviously it's loaded with plastics.
Yeah. Okay. And do you think Fimic will get into composites recycling?
This, I don't really know what composite recycling means. So,
well, maybe carbon fiber. Maybe that's what is the question is. Maybe carbon fiber or things like
glass
this.
Reinforced glass fiber reinforced materials.
that's kind of tricky.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is this something that you would consider in the future looking at?
The thing is, that's another good thing about Fimic. I never heard Fimic saying, no, we cannot do it. So Fimic will always, request information about the material per se, and also maybe some materials to be sent to Italy so we could test it. We could actually run it through our extruder and see, if it can be done. So at the end of the day, maybe the answer is going to be no, but initially Fimic will never say no, it cannot be done. We will always look and study it.
Okay. And here's another very relevant question. How efficient are your filters to remove cellulosic fiber contaminants coming from paper contamination?
Oh, Paola, I think you have much more experience than me on that one.
No, actually, this is one of the applications on which we had a great success. Paper looks complicated if you have a static filter, let's say a sliding filter. But for us, with the scraping system, it's very easy to remove paper. You don't leave it on the screen, so you don't leave it to burn and produce gas. You take it out continuously, and we can deal with high level of paper with our machine and filter down to very fine levels, even with material which has not been washed.
Our experience, when you go on the field, is you find a lot of recyclers that set higher temperature on the extruder, much higher than there is needed in order to burn everything. Okay. The problem when you do such a thing, you will have a degradation and some odor difference, on the pellets. With Fimic, that's the good thing about what we do is since we have the largest surface of the screen, we can actually manage, like I mentioned earlier, the temperature and the pressure, which will allow us to remove exactly what needs to be removed without burning anything, without having any degradation, and without any odor.
Okay. Here's a question. Do you offer equipment for lab scale process? So 100 to 500 pounds per hour? Both the screw pump and the filters.
Yes. So what we need usually is we need a minimum of 300 kilogram per hour. This is the minimum that we will need. However, this being said, if anybody has, let's say, just like I see the question from Mr. Dupre, yes, I think we can talk, and we can maybe modify the smallest filter that we have, and see what we can do. So we will never again close the door. There is some possibilities. 100 pounds, that's very low, though. I have to admit this. I don't think we will be able to achieve.
No, I don't think so.
But the minimum that we did actually, for a lab in the past was between 90 kilos and 100 kilos. Okay.
Which is about 200 pounds?
About 220, 240 pounds, but that will be the limitation.
Right.
And I hope I'm not actually wrong with my numbers. I'm just thinking out loud right now. I'm gonna have to check that out to make sure that I'm not saying a stupid thing right now. But again, I want to leave it open so we can talk with potential customers and make sure that there is a communication and we can tell them exactly yes we can do it, or no, unfortunately we can't.
Right. So Fimic is open to development work.
Listen, we're always open to work with our customers, that's for sure.
Yeah, we have the company is very well organized. We have technical office, we have machinery to produce, so we are very flexible from this point of view. Now, I'm not saying what Ludovic said, that we would develop a lab machine, but we could, in theory.
But again, depending, this is the good thing also about working for a company like Fimic. They have a real open mind for the future, and this is very interesting to be with this company, and for customers the same way, because so far every customer that came back to me and said, Ludovic, can we make a change? Can we do this? Fimic never said no. We always looked into it. Some we could, and some we couldn't.
Okay. And could you just very briefly, once again, could we go back to the Fimic spa? And could you just sum up the differences compared to a conventional melt pump?
Let me go back actually to the slide. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it.
I don't know. Okay, cool.
Do you see the slide? Here we go. Perfect. Yes. Okay. So again, to sum up the advantages of the spa, very easy to operate. The screw lifetime is much longer compared to gears, and we explain why. Okay. Additionally, it's very easy to replace if it has to be replaced. We have on the touchscreen 3 different operation modes. Easy also, to change and test. And again, we can set different type of material, for that particular, spa. Extremely low maintenance requirements, and significant saving than in the short term. Longer lifetime for every part, taking into consideration that recycling has always, contamination that will damage the gears. And again, these gears will have to be replaced somehow, and sometimes multiple times. And
if I can add something.
Go ahead.
The gear pump maintenance is very complicated. The maintenance is due because the gears are worn. So to access the gears, you have to take out the machine from the line, and then you have to open completely the machine and check every single gear. So it's a complicated and long operation. In our case, the screw, it's easy to take out. I'm saying easy, but it will take like half a day, basically. And you don't need to take out the machine from the line, which makes a great difference.
Okay, so less business disruption, just a lot more convenience.
Much more convenient, definitely.
Okay.
And of course, we cannot forget the optimization of the extrusion performance. That's one of the main things as well.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I believe that just about wraps up this Q&A, as we're just about out of time. And I'd like to tell our viewers that for any questions that didn't get answered, please send them to us, and we'll make sure to pass them on to Fimic, or email Ludovic at the address that is shown on the screen. Once again, I'd like to say thank you, Ludovic Pitrois and Paula Aria of Fimic, and to our viewers for joining us today. So that's all from me now. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.